So my name's Jeremy. I play bass in the band Mayday Parade. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say, but if that's
Hello,
it,
mate.
or
Thanks for joining us today, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No worries at all. So, Mayday Parade return to Australia next month for a run of shows starting in Perth on November the 1st, before hitting Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney, and finishing in Brisbane on November the 9th, mate. So, it's not far away now, bro. Have you packed and ready to go?
Oh, I have not packed yet. I'm having someone watch my kid tomorrow so that I can pack and get all the laundry done I need for the for the shows.
Tell me, mate, like you would have done a bit of touring around the world by now. So, what's a couple of the non-essential luxury items that you always take with you on tour?
Non-essential items, non-essential
Yeah,
luxury items.
yeah.
Probably just whatever can keep me from being bored. So like an iPad, Nintendo Switch, any sort of like thing to keep my mind just occupied so that I'm not just sitting there doing nothing.
And you're going to be touring with All Time Low and Lauren Hibbard, mate. So run us through both of those bands and why you fit in with them on tour, I guess.
So I'm not quite familiar with Lauren, because we haven't toured with her or met them. But with All Time Low, we go back a long time with them. We've toured with them uh, probably starting back in 2007. So on and off since then throughout the years. So just became friends with them. They brought us out this year in the US and then offered us the Australia shows as well. And we said yes to that. So that's kind of how that lined up. But we're excited to be there. It's going to be a good time.
Cool. Tell us a bit more about what Australian fans can expect from the Mayday Parade live show then.
Expect a lot of energy, expect hopefully a good time, expect that we're going to be considerate and we are going to make it a safe space for people to come and just enjoy themselves and have fun.
Yeah, cool. So go back in time a bit, bro. Like Mayday Parade emerged in Florida back in the mid 2000s. So what was the musical climate like back then that gave birth to the band, and where did you fit in initially?
So back then, it's a pretty small scene. Tallahassee was a very small scene starting playing music and there were probably there's a lot more bands than there are now in Tallahassee. The music scene has definitely died off, but we were one of the only, I would say, successful bands of pop rock, this genre, to kind of come out of Tallahassee. A lot of artists were really good and probably just as good as we were, but a lot of it is luck when it comes to music, right place, right time. So we were fortunate enough to make a living out of this where our other contemporaries were not. But yeah, the music scene was very vibrant at the time. But I went there I live in Michigan now. I went to Tallahassee recently, and most of the venues are gone. They've been turned into just nighttime DJ clubs, like they don't really do any live acts much anymore. So there's really not a spot for a lot of local bands to like go and get started. And you know, I it's kind of, it sucks really that all these high schoolers who, everybody in high school wants to play an instrument at some point and start a band with their friends, like if you're into this type of music, and they have nowhere to go to play. And it's just kind of a terrible thought that coming up in that without any venues to play. So
Hey. So what was
I'm
your
rambling a
early
little bit, sorry.
no, sorry, what was your early vision for Mayday Parade, and how has it changed since?
Our early vision was just to play as many shows as possible. Like that was our ultimate goal. Like we thought we would be able to let me see how I can phrase this. Our biggest thing at the time is like if we ever got a bus, we've made it. Like we've made it big, you know what I mean? And then like 3 years into our career, we were able to, finance a bus to like work within our touring budget. And since then, everything's just kind of been one next step, next bigger step here, bigger step there. And we never thought we would make it where we were or be in the position that we are in now. So we're very fortunate, very lucky to be here.
Your debut album, A Lesson in Romantics, came out in 2007. It was a worldwide success, bro. So what do you you think it was about that album that connected with audiences?
At that time, we had two vocalists. I think that was a big part of it. I think the songs were very strong. And, you know, like I said, a lot of it's luck too, just right place, right time. You know, MySpace was the leading social media, you know, website. The only other one, I think Facebook came out maybe 3 years after MySpace. And we really used MySpace to our advantage to market our band. We toured it, like I said, as much as we possibly could coming up. And we followed around Warped Tour and sold our CDs in the Warped Tour line, you know, before ever playing Warped Tour. And I think all of those things led to the success of our first debut album.
So in all, you've released 7 studio albums. So how's your music and your approach to music changed over those album cycles, would you say?
We tried branching out a little bit on, I think, our fifth studio album. We're like, let's do what like we enjoyed growing up. So we made like a 90s rock record, and the fans did not like that. So we're like, okay, let's not do that. Let's go back to what people expect of us. And I think, like, honestly, I think that's kind of where our sweet spot is. People like to have some familiarity in their music. Like when it comes to an artist, they like to know what to expect. And so what I've seen, at least reading online, is that people like that Mayday Parade has stuck to the roots for the most part. You know, that we don't really go too far out of our pop rock genre, you know, and people like that because, you know, they can expect it. It's something that's, you know, expectable. So
Yeah.
is that a word? Expectable? I don't think that's
It
a
is
word.
now. Let's chuck it in the dictionary. I like it. And your most recent release was a single, more like a crash, which is your first new music since the 2021 album, What It Means to Fall Apart. Like, is that song the start of a new album cycle, or is it just a standalone single?
Yeah, it's just a standalone single. We wanted to try doing things a little bit different as far as how we release music. We figured that most of the records we released, like only the first half really gets most of the plays, and so a lot of the songs were not getting the listens that we thought maybe they deserve, or that would, you know, I think if people listen to the later half of records more, we singles wouldn't even be a thing. But um I've definitely noticed that it has paid off for us, where these songs have gotten significantly more listens than other songs on the back half of our past records. So it's working as intended. And it also gives you, as an artist, more room to experiment, because you're not saying you don't have to force a whole record to a specific sound. You go, I'm going to experiment with this one song and just see if a crowd likes it. You know, if they don't like it, then no harm, no foul, because it's not a record. It doesn't ruin anything. It's just one thing by itself. So it gives us a lot more leeway to experiment as well.
That's an interesting theory, mate, and it actually it makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. So this year, Mayday Parade also went independent as an artist, mate. So what are some of the pros and cons of the band doing that?
The pros are that we get to do what I was just describing with the single
Yeah,
route. We get to kind of do whatever we want to do, and we can market it however we want to market it. Um, and no one can tell us no. So that's the benefit of going the this route. But I guess if we were to go with a label, what we don't have going independent is we don't have financial backing. So everything has to come straight out of the pocket for everything that we do. And we have to kind of plan that way in advance, go, okay, we're going to do this tour, and this tour is going to fund the next recording of the next 6 songs, and that'll fund the marketing and the publicist for these songs, and, you know, the whole work. So you kind of have to plan everything way in advance, going the independent route.
I mean, well, before we let you go, we started up doing 3 new Spotify playlists based on songs from bands that we talked to get people know a bit better, I guess. So using Mayday Parade songs, can we have a song for a playlist to get the party started, one for a playlist to save your marriage, and one for a playlist that could potentially end your marriage?
Oh, again, party start. Well, let's see. Terrible Things is a song about someone's wife, a dad talking to his son, telling him about how his wife or his mother passed, right? So I don't know if that'll fit in the saving a marriage or helping to end a marriage, but the death, I think, of the wife and the father talking to his son about it, I think it can fit in one of those.
I'd say that'd probably be more saving.
Probably saving. Yeah, it definitely is a tearjerker. Let's see, to get a party started. I don't know. It depends on the type of party, really. Like,
Well,
because we have
this
some,
is
like,
your
we have like
family,
a,
right?
we have like kind of a funny, not funny, a fun, silly song kind of called Get Up. And that's more of like, yeah, I guess it would be like a party song. It's basically shouting out different states in the United States. So that would kind of be a party song, I guess. Um, and then for ending a marriage, maybe Center of Attention. Center of Attention. A song about someone who makes things, they're the center of attention. Yeah. Self
Yeah, Jeremy.
self-explanatory.
Well, thanks very much for your time today, mate. Your tour kicks off with All Time Low and Lauren Hibbard on November the 1st in Perth. So we'll see you over here in a couple of weeks, brother.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nice chatting with you.
No worries, mate. Take care. Safe travels.